Yeah, so this is the third day of the training, basic Fablab introduction. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do molding and casting. Molding and casting is required when you want to make, for example, casing for your product. So it's more of a plastic thing. And there's multiple way to do it to make a mold. The easiest way is, for example, if you have something and you want to copy it, replicate it, then you can use that thing as to make your mold. For example, I used this. So there's a Ganesh statue inside it, and I use that to make the mold. So what you do is you just take a container. Then if I open it up, so this is the Ganesh. So if I, for example, I want to make plastic replica of this Ganesh, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a container. I'm going to put my Ganesh there, and then I'm just going to add part A and part B of the rubber mold. Let it cure for some time. It takes usually 5 to 6 hours depending upon which mold you use, material you use. Once you have it, then you can just cut it and open it. Now this is the mold which has a cavity of exactly the same size and shape. Now simply you can put whatever thing you want to put on it to replicate it. Okay, we have different varieties of material over there. We can try different things. We can also add dyes to color it. This is one way to do it. For example, if you want to make something, the other way is if you want to make something where you don't have the masterpiece. So what you will do is you will design in your software. So once you design it in a software, then you can mill it, make a cavity which is like this, and then mold it. So for example, in here, what I want, so again this is just an example. You can increase the surface finish by experimenting with feed rate, RPM, and different size of mill bit. You can either use Shopbot or you can use Modella for milling. So instead of mounting it here, you can mount it in Modella, and Modella has much higher precision, so that can mill it in a much give it a much smoother finish. So you start with a wax. Wax is usually used for Modella. Wax I won't recommend it for Shopbot. The reason is it starts to melt. For this you can use foam material, which is more it's much bigger and much cheaper to use with the Shopbot. So what you do is, just for the demo purpose, I'm going to use with the Shopbot. This can go, and the same principle apply in Modella also. So what I did is I just drilled 2 holes and then I mounted it. And now after mounting it, I'm just going to mill it and create the cavity. And that cavity can be again used in the same way to create mold. And that mold will then be used to create your object. So in this case, it will be a tiny car. So once you push it there, what you will do is you will design your object in any CAD file. And after designing the CAD file, you're going to create a 3D part. Now there's 2 ways to it. There's 2 steps to it. One is the rough cut. What rough cut will do is it will just remove the material. So for example, if you look at here, on the right side is the rough cut. What it did is just simply remove the material. And then there's a finish cut. And what finish cut will do is it will give the final finishing to your product. So just to give you an example, software we're going to use here is called Partwork 3D. So you open it, it's pretty straightforward software, and it has a very good help. So you can use the help to, the help will guide you through every step. So I'm just going to open this car file, which is this one. Now what's telling me is this is the 3D model which I created. It's a car. Now this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Now I have mounted it in such a way that I can just zero it here and start milling. Okay, so you can mill it from different sides. So for example, right now it's milling from top. You can mill it from right. You can from front. So if I do it like this, it's actually going to mill this, and then you have to change the material also. One good thing that you can do is, for example, if your object is in a way that you have to mill all the 4 sides, then you can mill from the top, you can flip it and then mill from the bottom. So that way, so right now you won't get any feature below the car. So there is no feature below the car because I have just milled it from the top. But you can do it, once you mill top, you can flip it and then mill from the bottom. Similarly, you can do it from side also. So this tells you So this is only top milling. This will tell you top and bottom, and this is for side. So when you mill that, the machine will stop and it will ask you to flip it. Then you flip it. Again, when you flip it, you have to make sure that it goes exactly same location. Otherwise, there will be misalignment. Once that is done, you can also resize your object. So this is in inches. So right now what I have is, because I had only 1.5 inch thick material, I limited my height of my car to 1.4 inch. You just click apply, then click next. Then it tells you which origin you want. So you can select different origin. One origin can be at the center of the object or at the corner. So I'm using corner. And you can also add tabs. So tabs are usually, I'll just close it. So tabs is when you're gonna mill it from all sides. Then you need some way to hold your object, right? So tabs is for that. You can just add like one tab at front and one tab at back, and that will help you hold the object. Next, you can first create a roughing tool path. So if you are chopping out lot of material, then you need to do rough cut. So for rough cut, you can usually use 1/4 of an inch end mill, and it tells you all the settings. I'm using the default settings. Again, when you'll actually make your product, it won't be the first run, it will be multiple runs. So you will try different spindle speed and different feed rate, and based on that you will get a surface finish. And once you are happy with your surface finish, then you can stick to that settings. For demo, I'm just gonna stick to whatever it's there. Then you calculate rough path. So it's gonna tell you like how it's gonna cut. So it's gonna cut first one layer, then second layer, then third layer, then fourth layer. So you just create a profile and then use that profile to do the final cut. Then you can do next. So this is the finish cut. For finish cut, we are using ball nose pin. This is a special type of tapered end mill. Then you use that and then again calculate the tool path. So once you calculate the tool path, it's going to do the finish cut. So this is how the finish cut looks like. Again, you can simply, it's all straightforward. It tells you like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Right now we're in step 5. If you want to cut out, then you can make a tool path for cut out also. Because we're going to use it for making a mold, we don't need to technically cut it out. So I'm just going to skip it and then go next. The beauty of it is also going to give you an overview of how it's going to cut. So if I do the rough tool path preview, so this is how it's going to cut. This is the first layer, then it's going to cut the second layer, then third layer, and fourth layer, and so on. So this is my rough cut. Once I'm done with the rough cut, then I'll do my finish cut. So then it's going to do the finish cut and make it like this. Again, there's two things you can optimize. One thing is you can optimize your feed rate and RPM to get better finish. And once you get a very good finish, then you just start milling it. The catch there is if you are getting very high finish, then it takes hours to actually mill it. We don't have that much time, that's why I set to a very small amount of time. And that's why we are not getting a very good finish. Other thing you can do is you can take out the object and then manually polish it. So this is how it's going to look. Then you can just go ahead and save it. So this is the save toolpath. Again, the file is .spt, which the shop or controller will use. In case of Roland, then you will convert this file to the one that Roland accepts, and then you can move it there. I already have it saved, so I'm not going to save it. One thing which I forgot to mention is you can also select different kind of materials. So here there is a list of different materials which you can use. They don't have wax, that's why we are seeing some problem of wax melting. But you can use plastic, wood, and all sorts of different materials. Okay, so once you save it as .svp file, then this software is done. Again, this is Artwork 3D. Workflow is you first design your casing or whatever you want to make in any 3D model software. Then you can open Artwork 3D, open the model here, and then use different steps to create the toolpath for rough cutting and final finish cutting. Once you do that, then you save the toolpath. I'm not going to save it. Once that is done, it's more or less same as what we did yesterday. So I'm going to first move it to a location. So what I want to do is I'm going to move it here and then start milling. Once the roughing is done, then we can change the end mill and then do the finish. We won't do it because this entire thing took around 2 hours. So I'm just going to give you a demo of how it's going to cut. Then I'll take it out Then we'll move to other section, the molding casting section, and then we can make a mold of it. Or we can use this to make a mold for it. Okay, so uh, uh, we just move it. So 0 x y. So first I did x y 0 same as before. Now I'm going to do the z 0. So just close this, and I'm going to go to cuts C2. So for Z, measuring Z0, you simply take out the plate, then you use the alligator clip and put it here, and then hold it like this, then you can press OK. Okay, so that finishes the Z. And once that is done, you simply click OK, and then you can browse your file, that is cut parts. Then I'm going to do roughing toolpath, OK. And can someone start the blower? Yeah, you really need safety glasses. This job is going to take around 5 to 10 minutes, 5-6 minutes. Okay, so this process takes forever. It's going to take 10 minutes to just rough cut it, and then another half an hour to actually finish cut it. And that also is not very good finish cut. So you got the idea, right? How to start with the wax and then do the rough cutting and then the finish cutting. Ideally, you won't want to start with the wax because this starts to melt. I mean, you can see that this is actually melting and then going together. So what you want is a material like foam, or you can start with wood also. Wood is very good. If you start with a block of wood, then it's very easy to mill it, and without the problem of it melting. So once you make your pattern, mixed pattern, then you can go over there and then make a mold of it. So I'm just going to use this as a test case to show you how to make a mold and then cast it. So this we can do it here. We're done with here.